What's up, everybody? Welcome to the feast, episode 103. How's it going? Hope everybody had a wonderful holiday weekend. I'm Delthius. Getting started a little bit early today, but why not? Got a few replays lined up for you guys. Sorry I missed out on Friday night. I was busy doing other things, but I'm here now, so there's that. So, alright, I think I'm about ready. I'm a little scatterbrained, been doing all kinds of stuff today. Okay. Yeah, we got 10 new replays. Hopefully they're renamed right. I've been learning Python, so I made like a little Python code to automatically rename replays for me. So hopefully it worked right. I guess we're about to find out. Let's hop into it. Match number 1 here. Those are correct names. So far, so good. In the bottom, we've got Big Pimpatosh. Over to left, Mochaccino. Okay, I think all my levels are good. Let me look at that real quick. Yeah, should be alright. Should be alright. Look at this crazy deck from Tosh here. Squirrel only, bunch of defense, Owl Wolf. Let's see if you can pull it off. Mochaccino, very standard, straight up player, very strong. I think one of Mochaccino's best strengths is just really understanding like build orders and when the opponent's doing something a little bit wacky to get in there and punish it. Which I'm a little bit worried about for Tosh this game because it looks like, judging from Tosh's deck, he is up to some crazy nonsense here. So let's see how it plays out. So far, A-Farm openings from both sides. Map looks a little better for Tosh here. He's got some nice, easy expansions right in his front yard. Meanwhile, Mochaccino's got this okay expansion over here. Could be a little bit rough. Well, I guess it'd be difficult for Tosh to like attack into this. I think this expansion becomes a lot better due to some of the ramping around it. You know, this nice big wall on the other side. If there was like a ramp entrance over here, that'd be a little bit more difficult to deal with. But 8-farm doubles, pretty standard stuff from both sides. We got to see where they want to go from there. Typically into a fast expand, sometimes into a tier 2. Yeah, we just got to wait a minute, see what they want to do. Here comes Tosh with an expansion, but he's got a lot of structures in his deck. So to me, this is probably going to be an aggressive play. And it could possibly send the wrong signal to Mochaccino, who's saying, great, you want to expand? I'll expand. We can play some macro games here. I actually need to turn sound down just slightly for me because it's a bit loud in my little ear skis. But it looks like it's still pretty good for you guys. I do not speak Chinese. I am full-blooded American with no no other languages that I know. I know a little Python, but that doesn't count. Alright, artillery cannon coming down from Tosh. And I like that little cell, too, on the farm. Like, it just makes it look like, hey, I'm playing some standard stuff. And Mochaccino's pretty happy with that kind of thing. Gonna go ahead and be super greedy here. This could work out for him, maybe. But the problem is, once that artillery cannon gets up, it's a real pain in the ass to deal with. He does have some falcons, which are nice. Okay, now he sees what's going on. I'm really curious how Mocha wants to react to this. He's gonna come in and scout and see, okay, Tosh has nothing but this artillery here. And this artillery cannon from Tosh is going to be really, really strong. It's got a hell of a range, so it can definitely support some like pokes and prods in from this side, and things get a little hairy. You just run away to about right here when you're in range of that cannon. And did Tosh see the expo? Yeah, he knows Mochaccino went up to tier 3 very quickly, so cool play from Mocha. I think he realized he wasn't in a good position to try to break straight through this, so decided, you know what, I'll just eco up like crazy, I'll get a tier 3, Tosh does scout it. So I don't know who wins. I take the submissions, I don't look at them at all, and then I live cast them, so you get my natural reaction to what's going on. Look at this for Mocha, just going straight into tier 3. This is a really smart way to play this defensive style against this. Well, defensive might not be the right word, but just kind of structure-based style from Tosh, because he knows he's going to have plenty of time before Tosh can really get anything together as far as attacking goes. So he's going to build into a lot of tier 3 here. Going to go for that Wolf Owl. Try to get some pieces together for a nice hyper late game. Even selling off some of the tier 1. Mocha's got a lot of money going into Owl number 3. This is going to be a crazy match. Look at this. Tosh hunkering down. So, okay, so how is he splitting the map? If he splits it as it is, he'll have 4 bases against 4 bases from Mocha. And both players do have access to Owl. So this is going to become a really weird game, where both players are just throwing free units at one another, trying to get value. And the difference is maybe Tosh, throughout all of his defense, can brush away those mice attacks without taking any damage, where the mice from Tosh hitting Mocha, you know, even with these skunks, you know, he's going to take a little bit of damage from here and there, and that can slowly add up over time. So this is a big, fat, crazy macro game we have on our hands. This is actually pretty awesome. Alright. Buffed up Owl's coming in here, and I believe the buffed up Owl does produce mice more quickly than normal. I could be wrong on that, but I believe that is the case. So yeah, this is so far going pretty well for Mocha. Almost gets a turret there, or an artillery, but it does live for now, and he's gonna back up, let his units heal, let some more mice regenerate. And it's a shame for Tosh that his territory is not quite getting up here. You know what I mean? This would be like the perfect spot for some defense, especially to pressure this eventual 4th base for Mocha. We're just going to go to Owl versus Owl Wars here. But I like the rest of what Mocha's putting together. You know, like Skunk Falcon are some great supporting units for this kind of comp. And since Toss has invested so much into defense at the moment, his kind of standing army is not quite as good, but he does have his own mice here to kind of defend with. So he's going to try to slowly get into his own Owl count. But on paper, I do like Mocha's composition better. You know, with those Falcons, with those Skunks, those are great supporting units to help out the tier 3. And the question is, how fast are we going to see those 4th bases saturated up? Good to see everybody in chat. I appreciate y'all showing up on this weird time. This probably works better for a lot of you anyways, because I know a lot of the active player base is European. Alright, we're in some debauchery territory here, man. Owl versus Owl, you love to hate it. And one thing that's kind of neat is Tosh already saturated up his 4th. Okay, Mocha's starting the same thing. He does leave this, what we call a starvation farm over here on the side. Just 1 is all you typically need. Essentially, it lets you delay the game by an additional 5 minutes if it gets to the point where we're all starving out. And I mean, this is a really impenetrable position here from Tosh. And yeah, this is what I was going to be worried about. When Tosh can actually get the offensive going on, if he can find areas where these mice aren't quite in position to thwart his opponent's mice, you know, Tosh's attacks actually have a lot more opportunity to get something done. Right? Because Mochaccino's bases are pretty much naked. Like, he doesn't have any defense to help thwart the mice. But at the same time, Mochaccino's army is way better than Tosh's. Like, if they just clashed armies, Mochaccino would win 100%. So this is kind of a cool spot that Tosh finds himself in, right? Like, he's safe in this balloon wall. And geez, look at how many owls. Tosh going up to 10 owls here. I mean, he's literally got nothing else to dump money into. He's got no falcons or anything like that. And balloons aren't the best at dealing with mice, but this is exactly what Tosh needs to do. He just needs to find open spots where Mochaccino's army isn't and go ahead and run in there. And even if Mochaccino tries to counterattack, you know, he's got all this static defense here to help deal with it. And look at this, the mice for Pip and Tosh starting to break down on some of these utility structures that Mocha has. Although this isn't the most important base in the world, however, losing Warrens is always painful. Oh god, are we in for a 30-minute match here? What's up, everybody? Good to see y'all. Thanks again for showing up at a weird time. I do appreciate it. Sometimes I am busy on Friday nights. Contrary to popular belief, I do have a life. So yeah, I figured instead of screwing you guys out of a show this week, we just rescheduled to Sunday. So yeah, this is a very odd game we find ourselves in. Both players here with those starvation farms. Mochaccino opting for 2, which is nice, but 9 times out of 10 you don't really need it. I think this is smart from Tosh to just go for the 1. But that would be hilarious if the game came down to that. Because this is a very weird position, right? Because yeah, Tosh can start like coming over and knocking out the rest of this stuff on the 9 o'clock, but at the same time, Mocha doesn't even really need that stuff anymore unless like he loses owls. But he really shouldn't lose owls because Tosh doesn't have anything that can shoot him besides these balloons. Yeah, I was thinking like maybe turrets would be better here for Tosh, but I actually do like the balloon wall. I guess the idea is the artillery. Look at this, a couple key units are starting to fall for Mochaccino. And yeah, so I guess the idea is the artillery is going to deal with all the mice on the ground, and then if the fleets, if the falcons and the owls step just a little bit too close to this balloon wall, they're immediately going to get deleted. So Mochaccino is starting to bleed off various resources here, and since Tosh does have the superior owl count, he is like slowly starting to get through this. But what Tosh needs to worry about is Mochaccino does have falcons. So he's got to be careful with the positioning of his owls. If they get a little bit too close, maybe the falcons can shoot him down. But not so many falcons anymore. They're actually starting to fall from kind of getting a little bit too close to this balloon wall. Oh, that wolf almost went down too. And I think slowly but surely Tosh should win this. Mochaccino's got a better economy, but that's simply because he kind of waited a little bit longer to saturate these other bases. If you kind of count up how much money has been extracted from the map for both players, it would definitely be relatively even. And there you go. Tosh ends up taking it out. Really crazy game to start things off with. Let's keep it rolling, guys. Match number 2. Hoping I did not actually even check. I had full faith in my renaming code, and so far it looks like it worked. Over on the left, we've got Namolis. Sounds like a vampire. Over on the right, we've got Kalaru. Nomolis. Sounds like a side character in Skyrim. They give me some quests that just sit in that miscellaneous quest spot, you know, and you just like never actually get to it. Alright, Nomo. We're gonna call him Nomo. Nomo's got the 5-farm warren underway. Did he scout the lizard? Okay, so he did. So this was in response to the 5-farm lizard from Kalaru. Or was that a 4-farm even? Interesting play here from Nomo. Like, setting up just that little bit of barbed wire to make the attack more of a pain in the ass. Kalaru was moving across the map with a single lizard. You can get away with that, and he actually... This is a single lizard strategy, and what he was looking for there was like a corner pig that was building that he'd be able to take out with just a lizard. He actually blocked the production to not allow additional units to be made, so it was like a little bit more of a conservative rush, as weird as that sounds to say. And I like this deck coming out of Kalaru. It's pretty neat. Always love seeing the fox, and only the lizards as the core tier 1 here. And pigeon with only the skunk as like the real unit that wants the pigeon. Typically we'll see like pigeon, skunk, badger together because it just helps you justify that pigeon spot. And meanwhile from Nomo, the deck looks pretty solid standard stuff here, you know. Barbed wire, maybe not as much. I think barbed wire is still fine. you can kind of pick whatever defense you want in that 6th slot. Same with the tier 3 slot, but that like Squizzard, Falcon, Chameleon, plus a tier 3, plus a Structure, I think is a wonderful deck. Especially if you're a new player, kind of trying to figure out what kind of comp to use. You can't really go wrong with that split of tier 1 and tier 2. Maybe, I'd see the argument, you know, replacing the Lizards for Moles. Moles are quite strong in the current meta. But Lizards allow different functionality. You can kind of try to bob and weave across the map. I like doing that myself. I take like 6 or 9 Lizards and try to just, you know, poke at the ankles, right? Like bite around the edges, see if you can grab a Warren or a Pig. Additionally, with the Lizards, you can just mass Lizards straight up as like the whole strategy that you're going for, which can work. Or you can base race with them, so there's a lot of more utility, I think, with Lizards. And so far, pretty standard openings here from both sides, going for a little bit of a macro play. A couple mines here on the side of Kalaru, a little bit of barbed wire on the side of Nomulus. Nomolus. I have no idea how to say that. I keep wanting to put a U where that second O is, like Nomulus. But that is incorrect, obviously. So we got macro openings for both sides, and pretty safe into macro openings too. I like this a lot. You know, building up a little bit of tier 2. I feel like from Kalaru's side, maybe Skunks would have been a better tier 2 spot to be defensive here rather than the Falcon, especially because he's trying to sneak into this Fox. And this is a good time to try to get into a tier 3 for sure, once you're like half saturated on the second base, once you realize, alright, my opponent's going for macro, I'm going for macro. But this is also a little bit dependent on not getting scouted, right? If Nomo can come in here and see that Fox Warren is being built, he can really pivot into more aggressive strategies. He can try to get out of his own tier 3. And that just kind of highlights the importance of scouting. Like, if a tier 3 ever catches you off guard, it's one of the worst feelings. Oh no, these reinforcements not taking out this cabin, starting to bite him in the butt here. There he goes, he takes it out, but he's going to go home for now anyways. I think Kalaru, like, feigned enough strength to prevent Nomo from going in there straight up. And now Nomo's going into a tier 3, realizing, okay, I can't just bust in there and win right now. But Kalaru's getting away with this Fox, man. The Fox is miles ahead of the boar. It's going to be out in time. Nomo does have a few units that can help deal with this Fox. You know, stuff like the Chameleons and the Lizards. Even the barbed wire can help slow it down. But in general, doesn't have any of like the super hard counters to the Fox here. So this Fox from Kalaru can definitely get a lot done. And Kalaru is no stranger to using the Fox. I think Artillery and Fox are kind of like his signature units. I would say Artillery more. He's kind of been the guy that always finds a way to make Artillery Cannon work, even in metas where it really doesn't. I love stuff like that. Alright, the Fox is out. Kalaru's got plenty of mines down. And here comes the harassment. Kalaru doesn't have high ground vision, which is a little bit awkward for this. Needs to be careful. There is 9 Lizards, which can chase this Fox down. And the 4 cams are also a pain in the ass. Nomo revealing that Chameleon a little bit too quickly, though. If he held that button down for just a little bit longer, he might have been able to get the Chameleon trap down on the Fox, but Kalaru gets out of there, realizing the risk isn't worth the reward. Comes home and is starting to brace for impact against this army, but he does have a few Falcons, which are nice against the boar. The boar is going to have more of an impact when these armies crash, but if Kalaru can stay alive through this engagement, you know, the Fox is going to do a great job cleaning up. But the problem is that the boar just has such a bigger punch. As you see, most of Kalaru's army was wiped out, but Nomo kind of messed up his micro a little bit. The Chameleons joined the fray a little bit late. Kalaru's third base already going down. He's struggling to get some more reinforcements together, but with some mines here, and with some good Fox micro, Quartermaster goes down. That's going to leave the boar vulnerable, which also falls, and now Kalaru's Fox, still alive here, going to start cleaning units up. Even though that, you know, I think Nomo actually got enough damage done there. Like, he did lose his army. Losing the commander at the end hurts pretty bad. But he did, like, critical damage to Kalaru here by taking out that base. However, I don't know if he's going to have enough. This Fox staying alive throughout that engagement is very problematic for Nomo, and he needs to sell down on some Warrens. He can't get all the tier 2 out that he wants. Nice job with the Chameleons, though. The Fox goes down. And that's exactly what Nomo needed to stay in this game. He needs to sell off maybe a tier 2 Warren or two and just build whatever tier 1 he can and kind of brace for impact. He's winning the economic game right now. And Nomo is now starting to restabilize, but Kalaru is just going all in on the Fox, man. He wants another Fox. He's crossing his fingers, hoping his mines can hold off his opponent for a little bit of time. Nomo is coming in with a more basic army, though. These skunks doing a lot of work on the ground. There's one Chameleon at 1 HP doing so much damage. Good targeting from Nomo. He realizes the tier 2 are the core units you got to get rid of here. Wants to keep his one Chameleon alive, though. He's coming in. He's got Kalaru backed into the corner. He's trying to deal with the rest of his tier 2. They fall. The Fox finally hits the board. But has Kalaru taken too much damage? He's selling off the rest of the Warrens he possibly can. Keep in mind, a lot of those Warrens were killed in the fights. Or destroyed, I guess is the better term. Trying to keep this Fox alive. That's going to be it. Kalaru's got to tap. Nomo's going to take it. Hell yeah, brother. Alright, I didn't mean to put 2 Kalaru games back to back, but that's what we got here. Match number 3, let's go. I'll do a really quick break after this one. Over on the right, we've got Kalaru. And his opponent to the left, Mari. Both very strong players here. Why is my phone buzzing? And Kalaru again rocking that Fox Mine Skunk Falcon this time around, though, is opting for the more traditional Squirrel Mole. Meanwhile, Amari, one of the strong mole players here, swears by the unit. Gonna show you how it's done. 5-farm mole rush. Just kind of a shoulder check mole rush. Yeah, I think she's just, you know, seeing what was up, making sure Kalaru responded correctly. And Amari's kind of got that, like, cavalcade of tier 1 and tier 2 here. I feel like Amari's deck is really designed to be like a little bit of a Swiss Army knife. You could scale into the late game with Chameleon and Falcons if she really needs to. There is no tier 3 here, of course. But tier 2 in bulk can do just as much damage in a lot of situations as tier 3. And meanwhile, Kalaru, you know, wants to kind of stabilize, kind of wants to go, in my opinion, for something like he did last time. You know, like get up to half saturation on that second base, stay alive, and try to get the Fox out. The Fox is probably the overarching strategy with this. You know, the game plan is to get a Fox out safely and micro that to enough value to win the game with. But Amari's got Chameleons and Snakes here, both great units at dealing with the Fox, if Kalaru's able to get that out. And again, Amari's one of these players that is really great at identifying weaknesses and builds. You know, like if she ran in here and saw Kalaru just throw down a Fox Warren, I thought he was about to with the mine. Oh, he is? I was like, okay. I was about to say, if she runs in here and sees Kalaru throw down a Fox Warren, she knows exactly what to do to punish that. And let's see if I'm right, because that is hilarious. I was saying that as a hypothetical, as like a compliment for Amari. But let's see what Amari's tactics are going to be here against this. She knows what's up, and let's see, maybe he wants to get into Cam Snake and just utilize the time between the Fox coming out to build up some eco, but this is a double bluff from Kalaru. I was a little bit surprised seeing Kalaru go for that. For one, because it's something that's a little bit figured out, right? Like, most players know how to punish a greedy tier 3 opening. And Kalaru went for the bait and switch here. He showed, hey, I'm taking a tier 3, you got nothing to worry about. Then all of a sudden, changes tactics, sells that tier 3 off, and tries to come in here for an attack. However, Amari did lose a farm, but these snakes were able to deal with that no problem. Oh, Solomon is... Oh, no Ulysses Solomon backwards? Yeah, I should have noticed that, but I didn't. Okay. So has Murray actually gotten another deep scout in? She hasn't, but I'm sure that she can infer from here, yeah, that the tier 3 was sold quite a ways ago. And Kalaru instead is going to go into some nice saturation on the second base here. And let's see how the players want to take it from here. Mari just trying to build up into a heavy, strong tier 2 army, getting some molds for the front line. And we're kind of stabilizing a bit into a macro mid-game here. Full saturation on second bases. Amari can start getting out that tier 2 in bulk. And eventually Kalaru will feel comfortable enough to take a real fox if he so chooses. Which will be now? Yep. Almost would have liked to see the fox like down here. So Kalaru just wants to hang out for a minute or two. Let that fox build up. And Amari doesn't have any mines or anything like that to get a cheesy kill on the fox, but does have chameleons. You know, you can do things like put the chameleons right here, where it makes sense for the fox to come through to try to poke your pigs. And then get the blaps on the fox. And Amari's choosing a good time to attack. This is when the 360 food has been invested into that tier 3 unit, but is not here on the board just yet. All that food that's wrapped up is not directly contributing to the standing army of Kalaru. Amari forces it a little bit, but decides to back out. Gets a little bit of damage done. Kills a pig. But I guess just wasn't overall happy with the trade that she was getting there. Kalaru hunkering down, building a bunch of mines, trying to brace for impact. This fox is almost here. But once that fox is here, it's going to be a real pain for Amari. The only thing that she's got that's really good against the fox is chameleons, but she's only got 2 of them. And now Amari's blasting in again. A lot of these mines going off. A lot of the skunk gas starting to throw down. But Amari gets the kill on the second base. If she can at least trade reasonably with the rest of her army here, that's definitely a victory. However, needs to be worried about the counterattack coming in from Kalaru. That would be a huge victory for Amari if this was a longer map. But the fact that Kalaru's got units left over, especially this fox, it's got the moles on the front lines to help tank here, pushing forward. And this might just be too much damage. Amari desperately trying to rally up the tier 1 army that can be produced right here and now and starting to clean up some of these units. I like the sell on one of the Falcon Warrens. But Kalaru's got the fox in the back. But all Amari has to do is hold on. Even losing a pig or 2 isn't the end of the world here, since that second base did fall for Kalaru. Now keep in mind, Kalaru does have a third base and has a few extra pigs there rolling. Kalaru just trying to sell down, get whatever he can. But Amari really needs more cams here, or more snakes, or something. You know, if you don't have the right unit, and your opponent is being very careful with their control, you're just never going to kill this fox. 2 chameleons are nice, but you can react. Great job with the stealth reveal. It's the first time I've actually seen it in a game here. What use do moles have here? Moles are just in general a good tanky frontline unit, but the main use is how quickly you can get them out. Like, it's a good, like, uh-oh, I need units right now kind of unit. Since they build 10 seconds faster than other tier 1. Amari's got the better economy. And is starting to mass out squirrels. That is another thing you can do with the fox. You can do the Zap Brannigan style, as I call it. where you just get overwhelming numbers of units. And you can see Kalaru's like starting to get boxed in. If Amari's got enough, Kalaru's gonna have to keep bouncing back with this Fox, and then eventually that Fox ends up in a corner, and you just overwhelm it with numbers. But Amari is not trying to go for the Fox trap. Just kind of recognizes, I got a better economy. If I can clean up all these Warrens from Kalaru, I will win this game. Kalaru down to no Warrens. Has a Fox, so this Chameleon coming up. Gonna get the Blaps. 10 HP on the Fox. Oh my god. Chameleon chasing it down. 6 HP. Kalaru's not quite in a corner. He can run down to that backside, but again, Mari's just doing overwhelming damage. I feel like if she goes home and just sells off the tier 2, builds up some more tier 1 quickly, there's not going to be much Kalaru can do. But Amari is going to have to pull back for now. The Fox does shine in these situations where units are just kind of trickling in. Mari is going to commit to the Chameleons. I do think that is a good idea, but I would disagree on the Falcons. Fox kind of deals with Falcons very nicely, and you'd rather just have more tier 1 at this point. But Amari's economy is starting to suffer as well. Not because of any damage that Kalaru's got in, but just the fact that the game's gone on for so long that the second base here from Amari is just starting to farm out. Ooh, gotta be careful with the cam. That Fox almost got that second shot off on it. Oh my god, is Kalaru gonna win this game with one Fox? Here comes Amari, pushing back in. Oh, these mines could be huge. Some good connections there. Here's some defensive moles from Kalaru trying to buffer against these ground units. Amari does get that pig, forcing Kalaru on starvation. He does have that mole warrior though, and she is able to sneak out with the cam. Gotta sell off those Falcons. Does have a third base over here, but is a little bit hesitant to throw any pigs on it because it'll be very easy for Kalaru to just take those out with this Fox. Oh, the Chameleon going down. Is that going to be it for Amari? This is exactly the kind of situation where the Fox shines. When it's super scrappy, super low econ, low units. Oh my god. Oh, the cam goes down again. And this might just be lights out here. Amari on starvation. Oh, this one squirrel going for it. Gets sold off. Amari just trying to desperately get up some cams. Trying to build this farm over to the side, hoping Kalaru doesn't notice. He doesn't notice yet. Kalaru's trying to be careful. Trying to see if there's Chameleons. He is going to scout down here and see this extra farm, and that might be curtains for Amari, who's going to come in and try to rally this one cam to take out the base up top. So we've got a little bit of a racing scenario. These moles will take out that mill very quickly, though, and the Fox is already on the way home to deal with this cam. Cam should get the stealth. Yeah. I can't believe Kalaru came back and won this. This is what it looks like to me. Mari does have 2 cams, but the problem is she's now starving and has nothing to sell off. Ooh, some mine connections there. Really cool game, really close. But I think from here, Kalaru wins it. Nicely done. Alright guys, give me a very brief 1-minute break and we'll keep going. We've got several games to get to still. Alright, I am back. If I press the right buttons. Streamer's eating a hot dog. I wish. I was eating some hot dogs yesterday though on July 4th. Okay, match number 4. Let's get it. On the right, we've got Luigi. It's me. Over on the left, Lego Man. Oh my God, Lego Man is already my favorite. Both these decks. Look at this deck. What are we doing here? What's going on? No squirrels, no lizards, no moles. I don't know whose deck I like better, to be honest. Luigi just rocking Toad Pigeon versus Lego Man with Snake, Owl, Wolf, Wire Balloon, Turret, or Cannon. Now, Luigi might be a new player. I'm not sure. I haven't heard of Luigi. So I'll be looking out for that. However, Lego Man is quite a known player and is indeed doing some silly things here. Could be random, could be random. No tier 1 at all is pretty rough, I gotta say. Yeah, what is Luigi up to? Luigi might be a beginner, so I don't want to be too harsh on Luigi here. Lego Man building a nice... making some art, maybe? What is happening? He's making a symbol, by the looks of it. What kind of symbol is that? Is he trying to make like an infinity sign? What is happening? Snakes, okay. Looks like Luigi's like got the right idea in a little bit, you know. He's trying to get out of second base, build some units, built an early balloon, which we don't typically do too much in the early game. But again, I have suspicions Luigi is a beginner, so I don't want to be too harsh on the guy. Meanwhile, Lego Man is just, there it is, there's the smiley face. He's just clowning. Not sure what I want to do. I'm kind of in the mood to play some Baldur's Gate, man. Maybe I'll start a new save. Oh, the barbed wire is a snake. Oh my God, you're right. Is that like the face of the snake he was making? Okay, no, he had to restart. Oh, you can just put it like right there on the edge if he's trying to do a smiley face. Now he's got to be careful, man. Luigi's just, he's kind of got the right idea. Like he's coming in here, he's scouting. He has no idea what his opponent's up to. So he's just taking a big economy. Is it a snake? Is that the face of the snake? Some toads are coming in. It's like a turret defense game. Alright, what is this? What is this supposed to be? This is TNT artwork stream. No, he's changed his mind. He's doing something. I don't know though, man. Luigi, like, if he's not careful, Luigi is getting down some balloons in some pretty decent spots. Like, he's splitting the map well. He's got a badger on the way. What is that supposed to be? Kind of looks like a middle finger, which is a little bit rude. I'm not gonna lie. Or maybe it's just a star. Barbed wiring in this house. This cabin's got a lot of protection. This house is gonna be just fine. $47 barbed wire here. Hey man, he needs to be careful though. He is clowning. But Luigi, like, if Luigi just starts stacking badgers, you know? I don't even know what to say about this. This isn't a real game. This is like somebody edited the XML file or something. More badgers coming and some pigeons. You know, Luigi has been given all the time in the world to do whatever he wants. Meanwhile, Lego Man building up to some tier 3 and a couple of his snakes. Yeah, I wonder what Jet would think of that cabin. All right, man. Here's some badger, toad, pigeon action. That snake's gonna get gatted by this balloon. Well, snakes are good against badgers, but this badger does have some healing here. Needs to be careful. Doesn't want to get too much snake poison on it. I think it should be okay. It's got plenty of pigeon's heal in it. Oof. The Lego Man's got the wolf. He's got an owl almost here. Luigi's building up on badgers, though. Dude, Toad Badger, let's go. I love it. Alright, owl number 1 is here for Lego. Building up a considerable amount of snakes here. The toads! Get them! Dude, I just want to see critical mass of toads slam into gristmills. If you want to make me happy, submit me replays where you use toads to blow up gristmills. It's the best thing in the world. Alright, these badgers starting to build up a little bit. Ooh, all the poison on this badger, though. Needs to be careful. Gets that base. Badger 1 is going to fall. Badger 2 will fall as well. Just too much poison there. And the owl is on the way. But Luigi is keeping his opponent on 2 bases for now. Dude, I like the buffed up balloon animation. Like, it's just floating ridiculously fast. Is this the meta? It's about to be. It's about to be the meta. This should be the meta. Go Toads! Get him! Get him! Oh, almost got the almost got that cannon. I like the pigeons healing the toads so they can get in. Oh my god, did the wolf die? How did the wolf die? I don't know, I missed it. Maybe one of the toads hit it. Oh my god. He needs more toads. He's got to let him build up a little bit. Oh, this artillery's almost dead. Oh, there it is. All right, I saw that one. This is exciting. I like this. Luigi's economy's starting to fall apart, though. He needs to get some more farms up. Too many pigeons, I think. Needs to sell off a couple pigeons. There you go, selling some stuff off. Pretty good, pretty good. Trying to get those badgers back out. Lego Man pressing on the offensive here. Trying to use these mice to cover fire from the balloons for the snakes. The snakes do get in. And maybe our fun is about to end here. As Lego Man said, alright man, we've been messing around for almost 10 minutes now. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Alright, Luigi. Your badgers are almost out. Does he have it? Are both building? Yeah, both are building. But unfortunately, snakes are just so good against badgers. I don't know. I want to believe in Luigi. I want to believe in the heart of the cards. Oh, he found the base to the side. But he's got nothing to deal with these snakes. Oh, here we go. Big Mama Badgers coming in. But Logo Man's army swiftly pounces. That owl gets a little bit too far forward. But Luigi will starve out. What an odd game. I've seen some odd games today already. Match 5, let's go. In the bottom right, we've got Mr. Ziggy. His opponent up top, old Premium Bow. Both players trying to utilize this ferret. The new improved ferret. And the new improved turrets as well. Looks like Premium Bow's a little bit more all in on that. Where Ziggy's kind of like running a deck I've been using a lot lately. Besides, instead of like mole or lizard, he's throwing that ferret in instead. Which he won't get really punished for this game because Premium Bow's only got squirrels as well. Premium Bow with a little bit of a quick Warren. I think Ziggy did get the scout right there, yep. So he knows what's up. Gonna respond with his own Warren. Rush distances are far enough away, should be just fine here. And Premium Bow knows this kind of thing doesn't really work too well once it's scouted, so just a little bit of dance of the tier 1s here in the early game. Trying to get your opponent to commit to the Warren earlier than you while you're building farms, give you a slight eco lead. But Bow's actually going to double down here, 2 tier 1 before all 8 farms are finished. And again, Premium Bow's strategy here is very all in on this containment siege kind of thing. So really what he's going to want to try to do this game is either grab this mill or grab this mill so he can start building up some defenses and push in with the ferret. I think Ziggy's a little bit worried though. He's got this defensive turret. Yeah, here comes Premium Bow. He's got to maintain one of these spots. If he can hold this area, he's in a good position to win. But if Ziggy can kind of crack it and prevent Premium Bow from ever getting established in the first place, he's going to have a hard time. And Ferret's already on the way for both players here. Premium Bow is not going to be happy when he sees the Ferrets from Ziggy. This turret being pushed down, though, forces Ziggy to engage. And for now, it goes well for Premium Bow. You know, Ziggy's got assets wrapped up in his own turrets and the tier 2. If he just had straight tier 1 at this point, he probably would have won that. But again, Ziggy's not super scared of this turret because he does have Ferrets on the way. And Premium Bow really, really needs a balloon. But I don't think he realized how bad he needs a balloon until now with the Ferrets here. Premium Bow moving in. Ziggy needs to sell that turret off, but is going to keep it here for the time being. Nice sell from Premium Bow. Ziggy's trying to find the angle. Now we got to do a little bit of a ferret dance here. Try to juggle your units around and not get hit by these attacks. But so far, Premium Bow's Ferrets got a few units. However, Ziggy moves in, gets the target fire down on Premium Bow's Ferret. P-Boop, though, gets a Ferret kill with his reinforcing Ferret. So both players dropping a tier 1. And so far, I do think this is going a little bit better for P-Boop. He's got the farm. He's got this area that he needs. He needs to find... Oh, no, that is horrible. Okay, there's a... I didn't realize this ramp was over on the side. But Ziggy's moving in now. If Premium Bow loses this gristmill, that is huge. A lot of these Ferrets actually landing shots on the tier 1, too. Yeah, I think Premium Bow should have committed to a balloon before the Ferrets. I think that's typically what you want to try to do with this rush strat. Oh, gotta be careful. Not microing those Ferrets. One of them almost goes down. And again, this is a lot of more of a precarious position for Premium Bow because most of his army is wrapped up in this containment. If Ziggy can push this back, like even if it goes into a quote-unquote normal game from there, you know, Ziggy's got Falcons, he's got Cams, he's got a Fox, he's got all sorts of other things in his deck he can start adding in. Where Premium Bow is just pretty all in on squirrels and ferrets. But P-Boop's got a decent amount of squirrels for the time being. And this is going to come down to a lot of ferret dancing. You really just want to try to deny these ferret shots from landing on your army as much as you can. Yeah, now that the Falcon's here, as long as this Falcon can stay protected from the squirrels. Oh, 1 HP on that ferret. Good job from Premium Bow starting to clean up this tier 2. Knocking out a couple of them. Decides to sell off the ferrets. He's gonna try to get into a boar? Yeah, I don't think that's the right play. I think you just want a bunch of tier 1. I do agree with this from Premium Bow. Just see if you can overwhelm them. Ferrets are not the best units in straight up engagements. However, they will be nice here when you've got the same amount of squirrels as your opponents plus ferrets. Obviously, the extra ferrets never hurts. And Ziggy's gonna crush through here and kill another Warren that P-Boop just couldn't afford to sell and reposition because of the tempo. But Premium Bow's reinforcements do come in and push these ferrets back. Ziggy does keep them alive for now. But Ziggy has established a couple extra farms here. Ooh, gonna kill that Warren. Nicely done by Ziggy. Starting to push in. This attack from P-Boop a little bit overzealous. Again, Ziggy's just kind of got like the same amount of squirrels plus these ferrets in the back. And this might be GG. I think Ziggy's attack from here is not going to be able to be defended from Premium Bow. Snags a farm. And now he's on top of the production here. Going to keep targeting down these squirrels as they spawn. Premium Bow's got to tap out. Nice victory there for Ziggy. Okay. Let's hop into the next game. Spawning in the bottom, we've got James and Ziggy. And up top, we've got Premium Bow and Fuffy. Fuffy? Tuffy? No, Fuffy, right? Those are Fs. I think those are Fs. Alright. The classic Premium Bow 2v2. The Premium 2s here. This is Premium Bow's natural habitat. This is his native environment. Almost feel like David Attenborough. And here we see a wild Premium Bow in his natural habitat. Mole rushing in a 2v2. So far, James hasn't seen it. He's about to see it? No! Mother of God. Premium Bow is going for the long con here. Gonna get multiple moles out. A lot of times you see folks just kind of come in with one mole. Oh, but that's not James. That's Mr. Ziggy here. James is not back in time. Premium Bow killing 2 farms, losing a single mole for it. Almost sells off, thinks about going in, and then sells off that time. So very nice. Good bit of damage here in the early game. Gonna follow it up with lizards. Meanwhile, some standard stuff from everybody else. Again, in 2v2, it's not uncommon to see players grab a Warren before 8 farms just because the risk of getting attacked is so deadly. And Ziggy's not messing around. He's taking a proxy Warren, proxy mill here. Probably to try to throw up some turrets. Gonna move in with the squirrels. Sees it's a little greedy there, I feel like. I think he should have waited until he had his turret line up, because those squirrels were easily cleaned up by Premium Bow. Is now moving in to try to punish James again. James skipping on tier 1. Trying to go straight into a chameleon, does not get it up in time. Gotta sell the tier 2 Warrens, gotta sell the pig again. Premium Bow getting another pig. Premium Bow just schooling so far. James and Ziggy trying to get up what they can. And Fuffy here has just been building up a bunch of tier 1. Tried and true, he's just got a nice core army to help Premium Bow on defense whenever he needs it. But Premium Bow again, another pig. Such value, much wow. James is slowly starting to get some stuff worked up, but he's definitely had a rough time in this early game. Ziggy was never able to take this 8th farm either, which is a bit unfortunate. Oh god, here he goes. Here comes that boy. Water attack. Oh, but James knows what's up. He's in position to try to deal with this, but does he have enough units? The cam falls, the squirrels are falling, a pig goes down. Premium Bow should get another pig before getting out of here. But at the same time, Ziggy is attacking into Fuffy's expansion. Premium Bow coming in with the flank, though, to try to clean this up. All of Ziggy's toads are gone. Is he gonna get the mill? He needs to just target it. He doesn't even get the mill. Oh my gosh. Dude, Premium Bow really doing a great job controlling this match. James working on that second base. And Premium Bow looks like he's getting into his own expansion. Just really working with the lizards. Gonna go into a fox. I like this from Fuffy, man. He's just got some core stuff, right? He's got a good amount of tier 1. He's working on a second base. He's got the falcons. Here comes Premium Bow again, but this time around, green and red are in position. Not gonna fall for the same thing twice. What's a little bit worrisome for me here about Fuffy's position, though, is if they just, like, YOLO onto this mill, it's so low HP, you get crazy amount of damage done. Oh, here we go. Premium Bow sold off the fox. Was that ever scouted by his opponents? Yes, it was. And instead, is going to go for an ass load of moles. I think would be the appropriate term for that. Oh, here we go. Oh, lordy, coming. And other dead memes brought to you by Delthius. Here's the big attack, Lizard Mole. James was trying to do a flank attack with his chameleons who are out of position at the 9 o'clock base. As Premium Bow is just going to come in onto these gristmills. Was probably hoping to knock James out of the game there, but James does have a fresh base over at that 8 o'clock position and is just going to come in. Premium Bow doing a nice job in the 2v1 here. He gets a decent amount of damage done. Forces James onto starvation. Fuffy, I think, was like preparing for a flank attack over to the left, but it just didn't quite come. And now his expansion's about half base, so it's not as threatened as it was. Honestly, I think Fuffy is going to be like the sleeper winner of this game, right? Like, Premium Bow's getting a lot of stuff done, but he also doesn't have that great of a standing army because he's been so active. But he has really crippled his opponents at this point. But I mean, like, look what Fuffy's got in store. Just been building up all game long. Fuffy could basically go over there and just run over the opponents. And here's the big engagement. Green and red just with fledgling armies for Premium Bow's constant harassment all game long. And Fuffy's going to try to chase him down. I definitely think Fuffy should just keep committing here. Come in and knock out this base from James. Knock him out of the game. Ooh, Premium Bow grabbing a base. I think that was one of Ziggy's bases. There it is. Fluffy with the killing blow on James. Ziggy tapping out. Oh, yeah, of course. Jet. Sweet. So after I get done, Jet's going to start streaming. We got some more of the Viescio Qualnes custom map tournament coming up there. Man, I've been having a lot of fun with that so far. There's some really great custom maps in the scene. It's always a pleasure to play on them. I had a really fun close series against Kalaru. And look forward to playing the rest of that event. Alright. Match number 7, folks. We got a few more replays, and then stay tuned. We're going to go watch some of the tournament events from Jet. Yeah, Laura, definitely, man. I think a lot of people kind of come and go with this game, you know. It's definitely a gem. It's definitely a gem. If you're an RTS lover, it's such a fun game to play. And I highly encourage everyone, man. I know a lot of people watch. I think it's awesome, you know, there's people who watch and don't really play anymore. You should, like, just hop in the Discord. You can easily find a match. That's what I always do. I'm not playing all... I mean, I've played a decent amount this season. I think I'm, like, almost 300 on the ladder. But that's what I normally do, is I just say in Discord, like, hey, I'm in ranked, who wants to play? And then I queue up, and normally I find matches pretty well. But I think events are really what's been keeping the game alive. You know, big shout-outs to all the guys involved with that. Mochaccino, Jed Erickson, Gentleman. Premium Bow is normally, like, helping out with modding, or not modding, well, tournament mods, I guess I should say. Or Maramu is another guy that's kind of in that position. Yeah, I mean, TnT and StarCraft are just totally different. StarCraft is like a sport, you know? It's like a muscle you gotta work. It's almost like playing an instrument, where TnT is more casual. It's got a low skill floor and a pretty low skill ceiling too. But where Tooth and Tail gets its depth in high level games is scouting and reactions. That's what keeps the game fresh. You know, if you get two high-level players fighting each other, there's some really cool, like, very subtle things going on. You know, counting food, you're trying to exploit weaknesses in the builds, knowing a lot of, like, if-then kind of stuff, almost like a code. Like, if I see this, then I need to do that. Yeah, it is, the skill ceiling is higher than expected. I do agree with a lot of that nuance, but the skill ceiling is not crazy high compared to other games, you know, especially other RTS games. Like, if you're an experienced RTS player, like if you're a master StarCraft player or something like that, you could pick up Tooth and Tail and become pretty good at it very quickly. But there's a lot of nuance. It's weird. It's like it's got a low skill ceiling, but then there's like this skill chimney that kind of comes up from it, you know, and that's where a lot of the little things happen. Where players like the Gentleman, when they're in practice, you know, like really just separate themselves, or like Chip or DJ Soak in their Limelight, or Mishi back in the day, where it's like, damn, I can't even win a single map off these guys. So there is that. I don't want to take that away from it, but in general, I think Tooth and Tail has established itself as like this like more casual RTS game. And I think that's phenomenal, because it's a game you can... I mean, I play with a controller, and I play at a high level. You know, I'm not the top level. I'm probably... If there's, like, S-tier players, you know, I'm like an A-tier player, you know what I mean? But you could, like, play with a controller, play after drinking a couple beers. You know what I mean? Anyways, guys, match number 7. On the bottom right, we've got Solomon. And their opponent up top, Saint Abroad. What's really interesting, too, with, like, the very, very top-level players, it's not mechanics that separate them, it's just tactics. Like, tactics are really, really important in Tooth and Tail. More important than almost anything else. Jet, S-, yeah. Yeah, definitely. I'm like, I can like take a couple. I can take maps off the top players, you know. But I probably wouldn't beat top players in like a best of 5 or something. I love controller play, man. Just being able to lounge back and relax and play with the controller. 6 farm, Warren from Solomon. But tactics, I do want to talk about that a little bit because it's pretty interesting. Because there is a large distinction between strategy and tactics. Where strategy is your overarching concept of the game. Like, and you should have a strategy coming in. Right, like I want to macro up and get to Owl, Falcon, Skunk, or I want to get a Fox out and get a bunch of value, or you know, I want to, and then tactics are kind of how you go about doing that. You know, the tactic with the strategy might be I want to rush with lizards, but the tactic would be finding, oh look, I can sneak around right here and get in and hit these warrens. That's a little bit of a bad example, but a tactic is very, very important in Tooth and Tail. And mechanics are less so, right? Like, Tooth and Tail's not mechanically demanding. You can get up to the mechanical ceiling of the game very, very quickly. But I think, like, the tactical ceiling has a lot more depth. Saint Abroad coming in here with a lizard attack. Saint Abroad is a very aggressive player and does get some stuff done here. Knocks out a pig. Strat lizards. Tactic build lizards. Well, the strategy might be lizards, and the tactic would be coming around and hitting from the flank. But really, I think where people get messed up in Tooth and Tail too is that it's very reactionary, and that's where the depth comes in. And I think that's what really distinguishes the best players of the game. They've got that like if else then code in their head just hammered out completely. Like if you go up against a really well practiced strong player like Araloo, you know he's got that if else code programmed in his brain for any possible situation. If I see a tier 3 at this point in the game, then I do this and I win. If I see my opponent going for a fast pace, then I do this and I win. And I think that's what really, really distinguishes the best players. So Solomon took a couple hits here in the early game, but he's starting to get it out into a mid game, and Saint is a very, very aggressive player. He wants to get those early wins. So maybe if Solomon can drag this out into a bit of a longer game, he can take Saint out of his comfort zone. And Solomon even bringing the barbed wire here, the chameleons. You know, the barbed wire especially seems to be designed, or seems to be picked probably going up against Saint, you know. Saint going for the boar. This is kind of what I would expect from him, to be honest. Like, all right, the early game I didn't win with aggression. Let me follow that up with a boar timing and try to win there. But these chameleons are just so damn good against the lizards. However, Saint does have a lot of tier 1 warrens, and he's got defender's advantage. As much as he probably doesn't want to, he's got to sell this boar warren, I feel like, and just scrounge together as many lizards as possible. No, Solomon actually pushes back for the time being. Probably wants to wait for another chameleon to hit the board. And I don't know if Saint's defense is going to be enough here. These chameleons are really good against lizards. However, overwhelming numbers do get around that. If you just got enough gosh darn lizards, it doesn't matter. And Saint is really trying to get this boar out, man. I thought for sure he would have sold that warren off by now. If Saint can somehow manage to fund this boar, and now actually he's got the chance. Okay, he's even going to sell a warren off to get that going. I think that was smart. You know, Solomon's army is very, very tier 1 based. And did he ever scout the Boar Warren? He hasn't. So this might be exactly what Saint needs to come in here to win this game. Which is a shame for Solomon too, because if he scouted the Boar Warren, what he could have done was sold off a lot of the tier 1 he's got and go into like double Falcon, double Cam. Right? Like 4 Cam, 4 Falcon, and maybe like a little bit of tier 1. And he probably would slam through. Solomon's hitting right before this boar gets here. However, the boar is going to come out to help deal with this attack. And these chameleons are already softened up. They're going to get annihilated. The boar moves in, toasts the rest of this army, and it's probably going to live. 20 HP left. He can even take that boar for a swim, let it heal up a bit faster. And now Solomon's in hot water. But the thing Solomon does have going for him is the better economy. So he can afford to kind of take that loss, but I think he was really hoping that this boar went down in that engagement. But this might simply become a numbers game here. You know, Saint Abroad never got a second base fully established. So I actually think Solomon might be able to pull this rabbit out of the hat here. However, I really would like to see him selling off some of this tier 1 since he knows he's up against the boar. But maybe he's just scared of the attack coming in, which I could understand. You know, it does take a full minute to get your tier 2 Warren built and the 2 units out of it. You might be worried, well, if I sell off my tier 1 and go for that tier 2 like I should, then I leave myself open to Saint just coming in and wrecking me with the boar, which I think is a reasonable concern. Saint just going to come in. He's going to lead with the board, try to let that thing do some tanking. He's going to slam into the army of his opponent, and Solomon just doesn't have enough. All that tier 1, kind of, this boar is like super effective against that. He's going to deny this base, but I feel like he needs to get more damage done here. He's still sitting on a worse economy, but Solomon just doesn't have an answer for the Big Daddy boar. Especially with a couple pigeons here healing it. And this might just be it. Saint Abroad's got the boar up onto the production here. It is getting low, though. Solomon is going to maybe muzzle it through. 1 HP. The boar finally goes down. Oh, my God. Solomon could win this. Getting that boar was absolutely critical. Saint's going to have to go home. Going to have to sell off that boar warren. No, he's going to try to sell everything else and get the boar again. I love the idea on paper, but I don't think it's the right play because now Solomon is just going to come in. You're not going to get that 50 seconds you need. Oh, it's 45 now, right? I think it went from 50 to 45. And Solomon on top of the Warrens. This is going to be it. Really close game there, and I think Saint might have even been able to stage a comeback after that boar fell, but I think it was the wrong decision-making there to keep the boar and get rid of the supporting units instead. Alright, let's go into a free-for-all. Oh, wait, why am I fast-forwarding? And in the bottom, we've got Mochaccino getting mole rushed by Meek in the top. On the right, looks like we've got Airlu. On the left, we've got Ziggy. This is a pretty cool map for a free-for-all, to be honest. Like, look, everybody's in their little corner. Everyone's got a couple expansions around them. I think Airlu's definitely got the best spot here. Well, Airlu and Ziggy both have pretty comparable spots where they both have access to 2 bases, or 2 expansions. Where Mochaccino and Meek only have 1, so blue and red here are going to be a little bit more inclined to be aggressive. Nice job from Ziggy, getting a little bit of damage done with that mole. I don't think Mocha sold it in time. Sold that farm. So yeah, it's like blue and red really got to get something done, where yellow and green can kind of chill a little bit. Yeah, and as Lego Man points out, nobody's stuck in the middle, per se, right? Like, anybody can attack anybody. And Ziggy's being a little bit defensive here. Getting that turret down. Who got to 8 farms? Most players have got to 8 farms besides Ziggy just yet. There we go. So we're going to stabilize it to a decent start here. I might fast forward just a tad bit. Just a tad bit while things get going here. Mochaccino moving in with some lizards. Gonna get a pig off Airlu. Nicely done. Leaves himself a little bit open to her counterattack, though. Airlu knows this. Gonna move in. The desperation turret's going down. But you gotta be careful with those. That's an easy 60 food while that's building. Mochaccino suffers a little bit of losses there, but is able to force Airlu to go home for the time being. Meanwhile, Meek gonna attack this undefended expansion here from Airlu. Airlu gonna get a decent cleanup here, though. Forces Meek away from the time being. Mochaccino just trying to get his own situation situated. Meek's got some ferrets, though. This can be very deadly. Oh my god, where's Airlu at? Where's this commander? Oh, here it is. Oh, it barely gets a sell on those farms. Just in the nick of time. Who is Nick? Why is he always arriving right when he needs to? That was a horrible joke. Sorry. Okay, Mochaccino coming in with some lizards against Ziggy. He is going to clean this up just fine. A nice little victory there. Oh, even gets the turret. Alright, but the real story here, Ziggy is now the protagonist of this anime, you guys. Because he is the righteous player going for the best unit in the game, the Fox. No, you sell off the Fox, Ziggy! You're now the villain. Now I'm rooting, well, I was going to say I'm rooting for Airlu, but he's going to an owl. Alright, we're Team Mocha. We're Team Mocha here. Actually, it probably looks the best for Airlu, to be honest. But no, we're on Team Mocha. One of the farms going down, and this is always... Oh! Meek's coming in here from the top. Is Airlu going to be able to defend this? These ferrets getting a lot of extra value when you can't commit to a counterattack. This is always rough when you lose a pig like this, you know, when there's only a little bit of wheat left there, because it's not really worth rebuilding it. So imagine that's like, I don't know, 50 food left on that tile. So really you could think about it like Airlu got 110 food worth of value, the 60 for the pig, and then the 50 for the wheat that'll never be farmed. Alright, Meek continuing to push in, while Ziggy's trying to get in position against Mochaccino. This is looking good for Meek, man. I like this. He's slowly getting into his second base. He's got some strong tier 2. He's got a ferret, which is a little bit, you know, weak in the direct engagement, but I actually really like that he's got a lot of just strong, muscly units to back it up, right? Lots of squirrels and moles and the skunks there. It's exactly what you need to kind of compensate for the ferret. And the balloon coming down as well. This is like perfect for the ferret. However, Airlu does have the owl now. But the skunks and the moles will help buffer against those mice. Nice micro there from Meek, pulling back that weakened skunk. Is it gonna die, though? It is eventually. And Airlu will break through this. Oh, needs to be careful of that owl. It takes a balloon shot. Meanwhile, Mochaccino trying to defend from this lizard harassment here from Ziggy. Both players really trying to struggle to get these second bases. So far, Ziggy and Mochaccino are doing the best on that front. I feel a little bit more worried for Mocha, though, down here in the south, because it's like Ziggy's got this base. You know, this like his safe base, but this is the one he's trying to push for positioning against Mocha with, where Mocha's second base is just on the front lines here. Mocha probably wants to get some more forward turrets down established if he can. Meanwhile, Airlu pushing in. That skunk, owl, mouse army. Skunk, owl, squirrel army, excuse me. Doing really good. This has gone from bad to worse, though, for Meek and Araloo. They're just kind of strangling each other up here at the top. Neither player was able to really get that second base established. And now we're well past that 5-minute mark where economies start to decline. Both players have little to nothing left. Araloo does have this Owl, which is a phenomenal get value over time unit, but he needs money. And we're kind of getting into a Cold War situation over here. Ziggy trying to get this artillery cannon down. Hoping that's going to be what will crack the code here. But if Meek loses these tier 2, man, I think that's just it for him. Nice sell from Meek. Gonna sell everything off. Probably go into some moles, but he's not gonna have time for anything. Meek is out of the game. He's only got 10 seconds left. That is not enough time to build a gristmill and some farms. Rip Meek. Alright, what's going on with Araloo here? Can he force his way back into this game? He can sell off these Squirrel Warrens and hope that the Owl itself will be enough to buy him some time. Mochaccino coming up, taking a look and realizing, oh, Araloo's about dead. But now the Artie party has begun for Ziggy. This is going to be a phenomenal defensive unit here to help protect his army as it clashes into Mochaccino. Mr. Ziggy looks pretty dang primed to win this game. He's the only one with an economy. This artillery giving him a very strong advantage in storming the second base for Mocha. And Mocha's just going to tap. He realizes he's out. And now it's Araloo with an Owl and a Dream here. He's got a cabin. Dude, Ziggy has to have it from here, right? What do you do against a single? I think Ziggy just builds a whole bunch of moles, right? He's got to keep... Now, if Araloo can strike this second base without Ziggy immediately defending it... No, Ziggy's in the wrong position! He's just going to try to base race. Oh my god, Araloo, you madman. He gets that base, bringing Ziggy down to equal footing with him. Ziggy is just going to run in, try to get this base... And I think he will get this mill before Araloo's units are over here, but that's not the problem. The problem's the campfire. And the Owl has all the protection it needs with the mice. Take it easy, Proto. Dude, I think Araloo wins this. Ziggy's got nothing left. Oh my gosh. I think Ziggy totally would have won this if he was in position to defend the second base down here, you know, sold off some of this defense. A really close back and forth free-for-all, man. Araloo doesn't even care about this artillery cannon. What's the worst that's going to happen? It's going to kill his free mice. Now, Ziggy's got 600 food. Gonna go for the classic, build a whole bunch of mills and moles. But Araloo sees it because this barbed wire, he knows what's happening, and he's got some lizards very mobile. They're going to try to prevent these Warrens from ever getting up. These moles are here. They're going to crash in. 4 moles, but the lizards and the mice are here to defend. This campfire ain't going anywhere. I think this is just going to be a victory for Araloo. I like this from Araloo, just using his Squizzer to try to keep Ziggy at bay from his mole cheese. We're trying to be more offensive with this Owl. There's only a couple squirrels here, but that's only 2 moles. Not going to be enough to kill this cabin. Gets it half HP. Ziggy is about out of money, though, to keep bobbing and weaving with these Warrens. This is lasting longer than expected. But I think Araloo does eventually win this. Good hustle by Ziggy, for sure. Almost feel like I need to cue the Benny Hill music at this point. And there it is. Araloo takes the match. Close one. Alright, we got a couple more for you, and then I think Jet's going to start streaming here shortly. And we'll go check out what's happening in the tournament. In the bottom, we've got Mr. Jet Erickson himself. Over to the right, Jacoby. Okay, Jacoby running his tried and true Badger style. Meanwhile, Jet is using this style he's been doting on a lot with Discord. Yeah, Jet playing best deck. So let's watch the master at work with this composition. I have used this comp a few times, and I do like this comp to kind of mix in to like a series match. Let's see how Jet pilots it. Jacoby is no slouch. And this map seems okay for it. You know, Jet could even start with like this mill and creep in. Or is he going to be even more defensive? Both players still just kind of getting the lay of the land, scouting the opponent's main bases, making sure nothing crazy is happening. Jacoby's going to start with a little bit of mole harassment, going to try to snag this corner pig if Jet is not careful. And Jet's going to have to sell that off. It's always so tempting with that timing. You just want to be like, oh, the pig's about to finish. But no, the pig will not finish. The mole will kill it. Okay. So Jet just building into a few tier 1 Warrens. Jacoby getting the expansion established. I feel like Jet has to at least take this mill, right? Or maybe you just reinforce with the Mole Warren and try to shut down Jacoby's position. No, he's going to take this Warren. Yeah, I think this makes sense. And you really want a lot of squirrels. You don't want to skimp out on that. Because I think the goal is to like get a turret in an okay spot to cover putting down a balloon in a good spot, and then building your ferrets from there. But Jacoby's not messing around. He's building a whole lot of tier 1. I think the strategy that Jet's going for really punishes people that are being greedy. You know, if you start with an early tier 2 or something. But Jacoby is really defending against this. You know, he's really contesting Jet's position. He's not just going to be sitting back, you know, trying to build farms or a tier 2 while Jet's building turrets in the shadows. You know, he's up here being aggressive. And Jet moves in, but he pulls his army back, which allows Jacoby to push forward into a decent position. But so far, it looks like we're just trading. It looks like Jacoby is going to get the better end of this trade, though. And this is looking bad for Jet. He's going to have to abandon ship, packs up, and goes home. Builds a lot of moles to prevent Jacoby from just swinging in for the win. And now Jacoby's trying to get into the skunks. I think Jacoby's handling this very well, and Jet is in a really bad spot now. He's behind on eco. He's behind on army. He's behind on tech. So I'm excited. Let's see if Jet can pull a rabbit out of the hat here. Gonna push in on Jacoby. Jet's actually got a stronger standing army at the moment, though, since Jacoby did try to get into tier 2 and try to build more pigs, but Jacoby's got that defender's advantage. He doesn't quite have the skunks out, but they will come out in time. A couple Wardens going down here, so good counterattack by Jet. He's gonna have to pull back once the skunk arrives. Get some decent damage in, and now he's kind of got the footing to be able to build this mill and try to get back up on the high ground. And No decides to stay a little more conservative. Pull back for the time being. Keep building into tier 1. He wants to get up some lizards because the lizards will be able to focus down the skunks. You know, you don't want to focus your whole army on targeting tier 2 because they'll waste a lot of DPS, take a lot of shots trying to march to it. But I love like having Squizzard because you can let the squirrels kind of do their thing, you know, trade with the other squirrels while you target down the enemy's tier 2 with your lizards. Jet's going to be a little more careful. He's going to build this bottom mill first, but that should still allow him to have the territorial reach to start building a couple defenses here. Yeah, going to go for that balloon. If he can get this balloon up, that is very crucial to the siege tactics that he wants to utilize. Jacoby now sees the balloon coming. He's going to push in, but he's going to be pushing in right when the balloon and turret finish. Ideally, he wanted to try to take this engagement before it started, and Jet cleans this army up, no problem. Jet goes ahead and sells off that turret. Now again, Jacoby does have a bit of the tech advantage. He's got a bit of the eco advantage. But Jet got that balloon down, which is very, very critical for this style of play. You know, now he's got a spot where once he can weasel out some ferrets, you know, he's got a good spot to start striking them down from. Ooh. Alright, Jacoby's going to come in again, but Jet's just got so much tier 1 here. Is it going to be enough? Jet's second base is underway. And now things are starting to look bad for Jacoby. He's got that skunk Warren bought and paid for now. You know, he's got both skunks out. But he doesn't have much else. And Squirrel Skunk is actually bad against Squizzard, especially when you're taking fights underneath balloons. Jet's trying to wiggle around with these lizards, see if he can nick around at the edges. Kill a pig or a Warren or whatever he can get. And the economies have kind of dropped in this game, so we're entering a little bit of a lull as both players are just trying to stabilize back up. But so far, Jet has done a great job of coming back in this match. Just off of really applying a lot of pressure to his opponent with tier 1. The balloon definitely did come into play a little bit, but really it's just been some good decision making and playing very conservative, in my opinion. You know, really keeping to a bunch of tier 1. You know, taking his time before he expanded up. And especially if you look at the income advantage Jacoby's been enjoying most of this game. Jet is slowly starting to edge back in. And now Jet tries to get into the ferrets. Jacoby might be bracing for impact a little bit, building up some moles. Sees Jet's got a third base up and running. Not going to be happy about that. Starting to get that army together. He's going to try to come around the balloon, but I think that balloon is still going to be in range. And Jacoby's being a little bit hesitant here. He knows this is a hard commit. If he goes in, there's no getting out, and he's going to try to go for it. The Squizzard rushing forward. And is Jacoby going to get the mill? That mill took so much damage. It allows Jet to clean up the rest of the army, and that third base wasn't even that big of a deal for Jet. I think that was probably a bit of a mistake there from Jacoby to really commit that hard to taking it out. But he got the job done, but the problem is He lost so much in the process. And try to come in for the counterattack. Does pick off that ferret. But Jet will be able to take this third base down much more cost-effectively. Jacoby does not want to hard engage underneath this balloon and turret. Good job from Jet targeting down that skunk, and that's probably it. Jacoby taps out. We got one more for you. And I think Jet's going to start streaming some of the tournament replays, so we'll head over there and hang out. But let's get into the last one today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Keep sending me replays, ToothAndTailTV@gmail.com. It's the only way I can do the show is if I have submissions. So let's hop into it. Last game. Should be a good one. A couple of great players here. We've got in the bottom, Airlu, and up top, Kalaru. Both players with Fox. Airlu even rocking ferrets. This is going to be fun. Airlu without moles. And double tier 3. Really changing it up. This is kind of an awkward map, to be honest. I think I like it. Well, it's weird because it's going to split like this for Airlu. And then like this for Kalaru, right? But it's such an awkward base layout for Kalaru. I kind of like this better for Airlu because if you can take this base, maybe you can take this one. I don't know about this one though. This one might be too in the middle. But Kalaru can harass like the main base with ferrets very easily if it comes to that. So we got 8 farm openings here. I'm going to fast forward through a little bit of the slow portions of the game because I can. Got 8 farm doubles from both sides. And let's see how they want to play it out. Quick mills, quick tier 2s. What's it going to be? So far, both players just building more and more tier 1. And then Airlu going to take that second base. Kalaru's got a few mines on the board. Maybe worried about moles? Right? Like sneaky mole warren back there? It's blown up by the mine? That'd be my guess. Typically mines like this are defensive against chameleons, because the chameleons will come up and try to blap down on the warrens. So second base is taken from both sides, but Kalaru's second base positioning is a little bit defensive here. I think that gives Airlu the opportunity to maybe secure this one. Airlu is just committing to a lot of Squizzard at the moment, which does good against skunks, but Kalaru's got the toads, so it's really going to come down to trying to hold the lizards back until the toads blow up, or trying to hold the toads back until the lizards come in to get those connections. Airlu, what is happening? Alright, I'm super curious this game. Whole bunch of barbed wire going down. Just saying, hey, don't attack me. Perfect response from Kalaru. Like, fine, man. You're gonna build all that defense. I'll just, build a buttload of economy. And start getting ahead of you. Airlu with the boar. I was thinking maybe the fox. You know, definitely when you turtle up like this, it's a big indication you want to try to get into some tier 3. But Kalaru doesn't have to deal with all this barbed wire. All he's got to do is break in one little spot. However, he doesn't have any real cost-effective, quick way to do that. No moles, no cams, no pigeons to heal up the skunks as they try to bash in. So we're just going to go home for now, which I think is correct. Yeah, get the fox. If I was Kalaru, I'd be getting my fox. I'd be building a bunch of farms. Hey, see you later, Lego. Yeah, I'm about to wrap it up anyways. Airlu going for double tier 3. Going for double tier 3. Oh, I wanted to build it back there. Can't. Right there is fine. Fox boar. I kind of like this better for Kalaru right now, though. He's got the better economy. He can build into more falcons. He's got his own fox. Doesn't quite get the scout on the double tier 3. The boar is almost here. But does Heirloom move out with the boar? I don't think so. He's paid for the fox. I don't think boar fox like particularly synergizes well. I mean, it is nice because it's like, what's the weakness to boar? Falcon. What's beat falcons? Foxes, right? So there's that. Some ferrets on the way too. Claro's got that fox here. He's going to start to try poking and prodding. Needs to be careful, though. There is a good amount of lizards. I like the positioning of these toads. Like, if the lizards are chasing the fox back, you can just run to those toads. Oh, but here's Heirloom's sneaky fox that he's not aware of. So if Heirloom can get the shot off with this fox, it just takes a little bit more to kill it. All right, Claro knows what's up now. Backs up. But again, I still like Claro's position. He got a better economy faster. He's got into a lot of the falcons. This boar is nice. You know, the ferrets aren't really getting a lot done yet. Try and get some scouting in. Gotta be careful, you might lose the commander here. Oh man, I get super nervous. Foxy Fox. Fox number 2 on the way from Claro. Very good in Fox vs. Fox specifically. It allows your 2 foxes to one-shot your opponents. We're getting into a little bit of a standstill as third base economies are getting online. Heirloom trying to move up. But I'm still liking this for Claro. This barbed wire is a big pain in the butt, though, for Claro's army. He's got nothing that can really deal with it effectively. And it does shut out this fox quite nicely. Ooh, almost gets that ferret there. Fox even taking a little bit of ferret hits. Claro's going to heal her on up in that water. Lots and lots of barbed wire slowly creeping in on Claro. Claro does have mines. Oh man, so much tier 3 on the way. I think all game long, Claro's just had a better economy. But neither player wants to really come in and hard commit to an engagement just yet. Oh man, and these foxes kind of taking a little bit of damage from the barbed wire too. Could be huge. All it takes is a little bit extra damage, and one fox will shoot the other one down. Six ferrets on the way for Heirloom. But again, man, I think Claro's army is just going to scale into the late game better. You know, falcons are definitely the unit you want in situations like this. I guess you can't underestimate how fast the boars will be able to mow down buildings, though. And, like, how tanky they are, especially when there's 3 of them. Like, Heirloom's army is just going to be able to obliterate structures. Oh, no, Claro gets too close with his foxes. One goes down. Bit of a mistake there in the control. I'm waiting for Heirloom to feel ready. These mines, though, oh my god! I get my Joseph Joestar, oh my god, down better. Oh, man. Alright, 7, 8 HP on that fox. Regenerating back. You know, mines are so good against fox, even with this new vision reveal. You know, the one tile is not a lot of vision reveal. You know, you can creep up and mine sweep, which I definitely think is great. I'm not complaining. But it's not like It's not like the vision reveal just made mines bad now or anything, you know? Even with it, even Airlu losing some foxes to mines here. And again, I think Kalaru is just building up that better army. We'll see if we ever actually get a big clash here, as we're starting to get into a long game. Kalaru is slowly just building up more and more mines. Airlu really needs to just like run forward with his lizards or something, right? Let the lizards die to the mines. Yeah, I think he was trying to do some reveals there. 3 foxes here from Airlu. Gonna trade, kill an enemy fox, keep one of his foxes alive. This is silly. We had some really silly games today, I gotta say. 18 falcons in the air. But how the hell does Kalaru get through all that barbed wire? Oh, this is sweet. Using the vision and then the vision reveal and the ferrets to take out the mines. This is really, really smart. I want to see Airlu take this mill, too. That's what he really needs. Like, if Airlu can get this mill... Yeah, look at this. That should reveal the mine. Is it? Yeah! Oh, dude, I love it. I love that. That is awesome. Alright, Airlu's gonna pierce forward. He's done some mine sweeping. He knows this area is safe. He's just bringing the ferrets for now. Gonna take out some things. But Kalaru! Oh my god. We always see these little things, but they never end up coming up. Kalaru realizes he's got the better army. If he can take a straight-up fight, he's confident he can win. And he's coming in through the back door. Airlu coming back. Kept his ferrets up there for the time being. No, they're on their way now. This is so many falcons. Foxes are great at dealing with falcons, but when you have this many of them... Let's see, Kalaru's hard committing here. These boars going down. There's just not enough units on the ground, though, for that to really matter. And these ferrets cannot shoot up, but there's so many foxes. 4 foxes from Airlu. They will eventually deal with all these falcons. Trying to kite him back. Oh, he's gonna hit the mine? Is he gonna hit the mine? Oh, is the toad? Oh my god, that toad killed that fox. That made me so happy. And it looks like Airlu actually does clean this up. Good job using the lizards as fodder against these mines. Another fox does get built here for Kalaru, but it's not going to be enough. Airlu is going to shell in with all these ferrets, and I think that's going to be game. Yeah, Airlu's got all this extra money in barbed wire, too. He can just start selling off. Oof. Big oof there. Kalaru making his last stand. Out of money, out of eco, out of units. He's got to be forced to surrender here. But what a cool game. Alright, everybody, that's it for the show today. Jet, you need to start streaming so I can host you. Thanks, everybody, for submitting replays. Keep sending me replays. ToothAndTailTV@gmail.com. And we will see y'all next time. Take care, everybody. Let's go watch some tournament matches, courtesy of Jet Erickson.